Hello. So I am wearing my Be Proud at Your Local Library, and we do need to be proud. We need to be out loud and proud at our local libraries and as many places as possible. Um, while it's still safe, quote unquote safe. I don't know how else to put it. And we're going to have to start financially supporting and even volunteering doing work at our local libraries for free because they are definitely tearing down. And the Republicans, everyone knows the Republicans are tearing down our local libraries. But now this is the part where it is going to get controversial. All right. So don't get lost in literally as worthless as this is for me to state. I'm stating it anyway. Don't get lost in politics because both sides are the bad guys. Both sides are the bad guys. Point blank, plain and as simple as that. And being a Democrat myself, and now a quote liberal progressive unquote Democrat, you know, you know, wanting all the good stuff for everyone is that should not be controversial. It shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be seen as liberal or progressive. And yet, it is. You know, it's insane. It is, and it shouldn't be progressive at all. But there you go. You know, so moving on. So, why am I talking about this stuff? Well, because I am for big time for anti-bullying and anti-bullying campaigns. In fact, uh I definitely think there should be a ban on, you know, what is it? I think they call them assault rifles, but it's these guns that shoot like a million bullets at once. Basically you're turning them into a handheld Gatling gun, I think it was called. Um there should definitely be bans on that. I don't think the military should even be allowed them. But I do believe in people being allowed to carry handguns and carry handguns publicly for their own personal protection, you know. And it should definitely, schools and stuff definitely need to be gun-free zones, but what I think needs to be worked on more than anything else, and I've always believed this, is stopping the bullying that is going on in schools. If you just stop the bullying, you will stop the shooting. Just stop the kids and stop the teachers from bullying and stop egging, stop the teachers who are egging the kids on, because that is what happened to me. And I listened to, and this is very important, Monica Lewinsky's Reclaiming with Monica Lewinsky podcast, which is on Wondery, WONDERY.com. It's / Monica MON like Monday, ICA as in California, Lewinsky Lewinsky LEWIN, and then Sky SKY, kind of like Lewin Sky, almost like a color of a sky, Lewin Sky, Lew in Sky, Monica Lewinsky, for any of those who don't know, you know, and wow. And I just wanted to say that in a very odd and strange and interesting way, she had the exact same kind of life like I have had. And she is so incredibly brave to be coming out and even attempting to speak and allow, I'm very proud of her for fighting and to try to continue to allow her voice to be heard. And instead of, because there is something that forever ago, I saw this little clip of an interview with, what was it, Marilyn Manson or whatever, the singer, the rock star. I don't know if I'm getting his name right. I'm sorry. But he said, everybody is speaking for this person. No one is allowing this person to speak. And I have noticed that, and that clicked in my mind and it stuck with me for years. And it hit me. Wait a minute. First off, you need to ask, what in the world pushed these people, if someone said something, quote unquote, You know, first off, did that person actually say it? Go to the source. Go and see if that person said it. I'll also go and find out. Go and find out what caused that person to say that. Is it being taken out of context? And then also, and that's the thing, everything is taken out of context now. Everything, every last thing is being taken out of context, and that's not good. Also, literally, is everyone else speaking and not allowing this person to speak? And the few times that they might be allowing this person to speak, are they trying to yell and scream this person down? Are they trying to discredit what this person is saying? Are they not allowing this person's side to be heard? And that is what happened with Monica Lewinsky. They first and foremost, they didn't allow her voice to be heard at all. All I heard was speaking points about her. I never once actually heard her actual voice, and I never once actually heard her. And interestingly enough, because her name was as recognized as the name of Robin Williams, her name alone is automatically recognized, and all kinds of stuff is attached and attributed to it. And in her case, it's a whole pile of assumptions and lies. And interestingly enough, it has mirrored my own life exactly, because I moved down to a very, very tiny town down south. And I didn't move down there. I was moved down there at the age of 9. And immediately the teachers started lying. In fact, one of the teachers, my homeroom teacher, told my mom, well, you didn't have to move into town, You didn't have to move here. No one asked you to move here. She point blank told my mom that, and my mom puzzled over it. Puzzled over it. There's nothing to puzzle over. She was telling you to take your kids and leave. She was telling you that she didn't want to teach me. She didn't want me to be in her 5th grade class. 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever it was. But she didn't want me to be in her 4th or 5th grade class. It's been that long. It's been that long, But, well, I still can remember. And then they started telling lies, to each other, to the kids, to the point where it continued on into a whole new school, middle school, and it continued on all the way over into mid-high and high school. Complete, and everybody was talking about me and saying things about me, complete and total lies, flat out, fabrications, you know. If I did anything at all, it was exaggerated about and twisted into the most evil and demonic and diabolic. They were saying that I wasn't a Christian. They were saying that I was born from hell and that I need to go back to hell. They were saying, they literally had, the first thing that was said about me was because of my northern accent. I was a Russian. I wasn't an American. I was a Russian, and that I needed to go back home. And that was the first thing that the teacher said, that I was a Russian, that I was a Yankee, that I was not an American, that I needed to go back home. I needed to go back home to Russia. I mean, what the flying fuck? Literally. What the flying fuck is that? I I'm an American and I was born in America, and I had literally a northern accent, you know? I literally had a northern, what was it? Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin. What it was Wisconsin. I had a northern Wisconsin accent, you know. I hope it's safe to say that, but I literally, and because I came from up north, I was a quote Russian, and I was a quote Yankee, and I was a quote Democrat. And they use the word Yankee like they use the N word for black people. They see it as the same thing. Literally the dead stamp same thing. And because of that, later on in my life, I couldn't get retail jobs. I couldn't if I put my name down on anything, I couldn't get a job anywhere. Um they wouldn't let me graduate high school, so I literally had to get a GED. They wouldn't let my brother get a driver's license. My brother literally had to go somewhere else just to get his driver's license. Literally. Um it was It was awful. It was absolutely I couldn't get a driver's license until we finally moved. I wasn't able to get a driver's license until the age of like 22. It was absolutely insane. My parents didn't even attempt to teach me how to drive, you know. My they The school had my parents' mind so twisted that my parents knew that I was going to get pregnant and drop out. They knew they had my parents convinced that I was going to get pregnant. And no, none of the guys would get anywhere near me. They didn't want there were guys who had literally they were on the bottom of the social ladder. They were druggies and had been to jail, and they didn't want to have their names and reputations smeared by not by my name and reputation. The nerds in school didn't want their names the you couldn't get lower than a nerd. You couldn't. Someone who was geeky and had glasses and was into all kinds of Star Trek and Star Wars and crap. You couldn't get lower than them, and they didn't want their names and reputations ruined by me. That is how bad it was. They didn't want their names and reputations ruined by me. The druggies and the dropouts and the nerds didn't want to have anything to do with me. So, and interestingly enough, that bad name carried over into adulthood so that I couldn't, even after we moved out into the city, I still couldn't get a job in retail. I couldn't get a job at McDonald's. I couldn't get a job at Walmart. And just like Lewinsky, things did not work out for me because of that horrific reputation, you know? And it was all based on lies, all based on hate, all based on negativity. And it's unbelievable. And strangely enough, just like her thing is national, but her thing is international. With me, my thing I found out was national because when we would go up north and visit relatives, I actually ended up running into specifically people from Oklahoma and from Texas and from literally I couldn't believe it. I ran into people from the south up north in my home in what had been my hometown, you know, in my grandparents' hometown when we were visiting. I mean, I was like, okay, yeah, people from Texas, but people from Oklahoma? That was and then people from that tiny town in Arkansas, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Arkansas, I spent like 1 year in Arkansas, 1 year. And yet from that specific town when I was visiting my grandparents, I just, and I had grandparents on my dad's side that were actually up right next to the Canadian border. And so of course I had a quote Canadian accent, you know, which I don't, but and to run into someone from a little pissant town where I spent like literally a year and a half, if you really want to stretch it, it was one school year. And somehow, I don't know how, but this reputation of, you know, being a black person lover, being a Democrat, being a Yank, being not from here, being a foreigner, you know, being and they always went to Russian. I don't know why they always went to Russian, no matter, that I mean, Oklahoma looks up to Texas so much that Oklahoma has, big brother envy. So Texas, that makes sense. But Arkansas, that was weird. Now looking back, it's like that was weird. Why would you say that? And why would that follow me? That doesn't make sense at all whatsoever. You know, I mean, and even in Texas, they're like, "Oh, you're German," which was apparently a very big insult too. But then it was like a toss up between, well, wait, which is a bigger insult? And then they landed on like German, I guess. but it was just on it. I don't know. I don't know. But so I'm just really, really shocked. And just to hurry up and end this video really quick here, go listen to the Monica Lewinsky podcast. Go listen to it, especially the intro. Monica Lewinsky, Reclaiming with Monica Lewinsky, episode 1, out February 18th, 2025. It's 1 hour and 14 minutes long. And if you don't listen to anything else, at least listen to the last 20 minutes of it. Because I think the last 20 minutes are the best and most important part. I really think the last 20 minutes is the best and most important part. So since this video is at the 15-minute mark, I hope I can still upload it to TikTok. I don't know what good or worth that's going to be. I'm definitely going to upload it to YouTube because what's the point? No one's going to watch this anyway, especially in the format that it's in. But there you go. There you go. I'm definitely going to say more. Bye for now for this video.